Unsolved Mysteries of the CMS, brought to you by the Classic Metal Wrap-Up Show. On this edition of Unsolved Mysteries of the CMS, can a 60-plus-year-old man have always used condoms during intercourse? On this edition of Unsolved Mysteries of the CMS, we explore whether a 60-plus-year-old man can always use a prophylactic every single time he's ever had intercourse. Today, we discuss a 60-plus-year-old part-time internet radio show host who shocked and awed his dozens of listeners when he proudly proclaimed that he always used a prophylactic during intercourse. We will explore the statistical and numerical data to find out if it's even plausible for a man with 60-plus years of life to have always worn a condom during sex. For this discussion, we contacted a retired professor who wished to remain anonymous. As such, we will call him Bob Smith, former professor of mathematics for DeVry University. He will help us break down the numbers. Thank you for coming on the show today, Bob. Do you think it would be possible for a man of 60-plus years to have used a condom for every sexual encounter of his entire life?
Well, thank you for having me, but to be honest with you, no, I don't think it would be possible. If a regular man had sex, let's just say twice a week, for 1 year, that would be 104 condoms he would need in order to make it through the year.
Well, this internet radio DJ proclaimed to his listeners that he had sex with a former girlfriend 5 times a day, every day for quite some time.
Really? This girl banged me out 5 times a day. Wow. 5 times a day.
Well, I would just have to again say I don't think the mathematics add up here. Even just for a 6-month period at 5 times a day, we can go ahead and take a look at those numbers and do the breakdown. So yes, as I was saying, 365 days a year divided by 2 is 182.5. 182.5 days is a 6-month period times 5 condoms a day would be 912.5 condoms in just 6 months. Who in their right mind would buy 912 condoms in 6 months? On top of that, at $1 a piece in today's money, that would be $912. Even if you took it back to 1980 or 1990 prices, you'd be looking at $400 and something in a 6-month period just on condoms.
So, Professor, what you're saying is that none of this makes any goddamn sense.
Well, not only that, but if you multiply that over a 60-plus year life, even if the person only had sex starting at the age of 15 years of age, that would be 45 years of intercourse and condom purchasing. No one would be able to sustain that at such a rate. They would have to be very, very rich, and even that would be pretty much unthinkable.
Well, thank you for your time, Professor. We will also discuss the psychological profile of a man so completely obsessed with safety and protection that he would always use a Jimmy hat. Next, we will speak with Becky Johnson, psychiatrist with a PhD from Johns Hopkins University. She will break down the profile of a man who is so obsessed with condoms that he can never leave home without them.
Well, I've taken a strong look at the personality traits and data points you gave me for a possible patient with these symptoms. I'd have to say that this kind of person would probably not be much of a risk taker and be afraid of leaving the house. Also, I think they'd be afraid of forming any type of emotional bond with the person that they're having intercourse with. And lastly, even if they did leave the house, they'd probably drive with a helmet on.
Becky, you are right in more ways than you can even possibly know. You've hit the nail right on the head. Thank you for your time. Lastly, we will speak with a sales representative of a major condom manufacturer to find out if any bulk orders were ever placed by a man known as W.E. from Indiana.
Nick Barnes, a longtime sales and distribution employee for a major prophylactic manufacturer.
I've checked the computer records for the company for the last 35 plus years, and I can find 0 records for any person by the name of W.E. from the state of Indiana.
In summation, we could find no tracked bulk orders of condoms for a man named W.E. in the state of Indiana. And with him not having enough women to use the condoms on top of the fact that he is not a millionaire to afford such expenditures, we have to come to the last conclusion that this man may be completely full of shit.
Join us on the next episode of Unsolved Mysteries of the CMS as we take a look at the story of a 1980s rocker who was permanently disabled by a 2x4 shot heard around the world, and his assailant remains a mystery.